I'm Jason Robinhood, and these are the stocks of the day for Tuesday, January 18th, 2022. Okay, so it is currently 3:05 p.m. here in Las Vegas, Tuesday, January 18th, 2022, and we're going to go over the best performing stocks in the stock market today. Not a great day for any of the indexes today. All four of the major indexes were down. The Dow Jones was down 543 points. The S&P was down 85 points. The NASDAQ 100 was down 386 points. And the Russell 2K was down 66 points. The VIX is currently trading at a 22 handle. It was up 3 points. And the 10-year, which is probably the story of the day, was up almost 0.1%. The 10-year is currently trading at 1.875. I believe that's a 2-year high. In this series, we go over about 20 to about 25 of the stocks of the day. We go over the top 5 performance stocks for each of the major indexes. And then if we can find any stocks outside of the indexes. Today, we did find 2 stocks out of the indexes that I would like to highlight. We found ticker symbol MYNX. Look at this stock, even though the market was red today. As you can see, this stock was up 30%, 29% today, right? It was up 29%. You can see it gained even 1% in the after hours market. Ticker symbol MYNX. For the week, it's up 80%, and for the month, it's up 204%. This is a very, very strong performance stock. It's only been, I guess it looks like it IPO'd in late 2021, and it IPO'd around $9, $10. And now it's at 27. It hasn't had almost any pullbacks since the IPO date, which is about 4 or 5 months ago. But either way, a good stock you probably want to keep an eye on. You know, it's up 80% in a week, over 200% for the month. So I'm going to be keeping my eye on this stock. I added this to my watch list. And another stock we found outside of the indexes, this is kind of a meme stock that had a big year last year, was ticker symbol, ticker symbol BBIG. As you can see, this stock was up 30% during the trading day, and it's up 13% in the after hours market. I jumped in here a little bit early. I added 14 shares to my portfolio. We're up 13%. That's not bad. That's a really good trade, right? We'll keep an eye on this stock. It's up 142% for the week. For the month, it's up 97%. For the past 3 months, it's actually down 30%. That says a lot about the volatility in this stock. But for the year, for the past 365 days, this stock is up over 300% and 7% since it IPO'd. So this is an interesting stock that I added 14 shares to my portfolio. I don't believe I will add any more shares to my portfolio, but I will be keeping an eye on this stock. As you can see, it's up over 40% today. So this stock went parabolic on the day that the Dow Jones was down almost 600 points. Now for the top 4 indexes, we're going to start with the Dow Jones. As I mentioned, the Dow Jones was down 543 points. The Dow Jones currently trades at 35,368. We definitely want to keep an eye on that 35,000 mark. If we have another day like we did today, we could be at 34,000. So that's kind of a big deal. Either way, we did find 5 stocks in the Dow Jones that were up today. Visa was one of them. Dow Jones always has 30 stocks in their portfolio. So Visa was up a little less than 0.5% today. Visa for the year is up 6%, and for the past 5 years, a pretty nice looking chart, not a bad chart, up 166%. I believe it pays a dividend. It pays less than a 1% dividend, but a pretty strong return for past 5 years for Visa. If you're looking for a financial stock that pays a dividend in the Dow Jones, good performance for Visa today. Next stock that performed well in the Dow Jones was Caterpillar. Caterpillar was up almost 0.5% today. For the past year, it's up 18%. That's a really good move for Caterpillar. And for the past 5 years, you can see it's basically gone from the lows of March 2020, and it's just gone basically in a straight line for the most, but not really in a straight line. It peaked out around June of last year. You want to keep an eye on this 244 mark. It's about $15 from where we are right here. So you probably want to keep an eye on Caterpillar the next $15. And Caterpillar pays almost a 2% dividend. That's not a bad, that's a pretty strong move for a 2% dividend paying stock over 5 years, Caterpillar. Next stock is ticker symbol CVX, Chevron. Chevron is a part of the energy sector. Energy sector is one of the best performing sectors in the stock market at the moment. Chevron was up a little less than 0.5% today. It's up 38%. This is a pretty strong move for Chevron the past year, almost up 50% in the past year. That's a really strong move, and you can see it's basically gone up in a straight line since September of last year. It was trading at $94 last year. And for the past 5 years, as you can see, it's only up 11%. You can see the move has basically just started in Chevron. And Chevron pays a 4% dividend. Let me say that again, a 4% dividend. That's a very, 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 very strong paying dividend. Not a great performance for the past 5 years. But obviously, if you look at the past year, you can see the move may have just started, or you may have missed it, But 40% for a stock that's only up 11% the past 5 years, you definitely want to keep an eye on the performance of Chevron this year, right? Next stock for the Dow Jones, best performing stocks was Verizon, VZ. Verizon was up 0.28% of 1% today. Verizon for the year is actually down 7%. The Dow Jones is up, I think, about 17%. So Verizon is underperforming the Dow Jones. And for the past 5 years, this stock is only up 1%. It probably pays a nice, as you can see, Chevron pays 4% and Verizon pays 4%. But the past year, Chevron was up 40% and Verizon is down 7%. So not a stock I'm going to be paying too much attention to this year for me. Next stock is Travelers. Travelers, TRV. You can see Travelers was up almost 0.25% today. For the past year, not a bad move for Travelers. 13% move. The Dow Jones is up about 17%. So it's about basically in line. And for the past 5 years, it's about 39%, a little less than 10% per year. That's not terrible. And it pays almost a 2% dividend. Travelers, if you're looking for a dividend paying company in the Dow Jones, that gives you about 9%, a little less than 9% per year. And for the last stock, for the best performing stocks in the Dow Jones was Disney. Disney was up today. Disney was down in the after hours market. It was up during a trading day, but it actually fell back in the after hours market. The Dow Jones only has 30 stocks and 7 were up during the day, but as you can see, some of them fell in the after hours market. Either way, Disney is down 11% the past year. Not a great move with the Dow Jones being up 17%. This stock is underperforming the Dow Jones by almost 30%. But for the past 5 years, Disney is up 40%. That's not terrible, but it doesn't pay a dividend. So those were the best performance stocks in the Dow Jones. We tried to find 5 stocks that were up on the Dow Jones, but the Dow Jones, as I mentioned, was down 543 points today. So it was really difficult to find 5 green stocks when the Dow Jones is down almost 600 points. The next 5 stocks we're going to look at is for the S&P 500. The S&P 500, as I mentioned, was down 85 points today. S&P 500 currently trades at 4,577. We want to keep an eye on that 4,500 mark, of course. But one of the best performing stocks in the S&P 500 today was ATI, Activision Blizzard. This stock was proposed a takeover by Microsoft. That price was at $95 a share. It's going to be all cash. So this stock has $13 to run if this deal will be approved. You want to keep an eye on Activision Blizzard this year. The past performance and all that stuff doesn't really matter if they're going to be taken over. But either way, for the past year, even though the stock is up almost 40%, almost 30% today, the stock is still down 9%. That's always a good idea when stocks are taking over, when they sell off a lot, when this stock was down 40% from its highs. So that's a good takeover candidate. And as you can see, even though it's down almost 10%, it was down almost 40% the past year, it's still up over 112% the past 5 years. But Activision Blizzard was proposed a buyout by Microsoft. And Microsoft was not on the best performing stocks of the Dow Jones, obviously, because it was proposing to buy Activision Blizzard. So that's why Activision Blizzard was up 25% today. As I mentioned, Activision Blizzard, the proposed takeover price is $95 all cash. So if you want to be a shareholder of Activision Blizzard to pick up that $13 a share, it's currently trading at $82. You want to keep an eye on that. Next stock in the S&P 500 was CTXS. Okay, now you can see this stock was up almost 6% today. As I mentioned, the S&P 500 was down 85 points, so this is a good performance stock. This stock is down 23% year over year. S&P 500 was up, I don't think it was up 27% last year, but I know it's up over 20% last year. So this stock is underperforming the S&P 500 by like 40, it's almost like 50%. But for the past 5 years, this stock is actually up 38%. You can see it topped out in June 24, 2020, about 2 years ago at 142. It's currently trading at $101. So obviously you want to keep an eye on this stock this year from $100 to $142, $143 if you can get above that price. It does pay a dividend, almost a 2% dividend. That's not a bad paying dividend if you're looking for a dividend paying stock in the S&P 500. Next stock is EA. EA is another video game maker. They weren't proposed a buyout or anything. It's just the entire market was moving up for the proposed deal of Activision. So EA got some love today. As you can see, this stock was up 3%. Maybe people were thinking they could be taken over, or most likely they were thinking that EA would probably get more aggressive in their purchasing of other companies. This stock was up over 3% today. It picked up over half of a percent in the after hours market. That's a good move. It's down 3% the year over year. As I mentioned, the S&P 500 was up over 20%. So this stock is underperforming the S&P 500. But for the past 5 years, it's up 68%. That's over 10% a year. That's not a bad move for stock. And it pays a little less than 1%, a little more than 0.5% of a dividend if you're looking for EA, a video game maker. Great performance the past 5 years, averaging over 10% the past 5 years in the S&P 500. Next stock is ticker symbol XOM. Exxon Mobil. Exxon Mobil used to be in the Dow Jones, so it would have made the list in the Dow Jones, but it was replaced last year. But Exxon Mobil, as you can see, a part of the energy sector, was up almost 2% today. Picked up a 0.1% in the after hours market. That's a good move on top of the 1.68% during the trading hours. For the past, oh my goodness, look at this move. For the past year, Exxon Mobil was up 50%. The Dow Jones definitely should not have kicked this company out. I don't know what they were thinking. But Exxon Mobil's up 50% the past year. This move, you can see it's basically gone in a straight line since December 20th. So in a month, it's gone from $59 to $73. And we don't see any resistance in this chart for the past 5 years. But for the past 5 years, you can see this stock is still down 15%. The highs were around $89 in 2018. So that's an interesting stock. This stock is almost up to 2018 prices. You definitely want to keep an eye on Exxon Mobil for this year at that's currently trading at $73. If it could break above that $89 mark, that's going to be a big deal. That's going to be a big deal. And Exxon Mobil does pay almost a 5% dividend. So if you are a shareholder for Exxon Mobil the past year, you've definitely made a lot of money. The past 5 years, obviously, you're down. But if you got in the last year, you're making a lot of money. You want to keep an eye on Exxon Mobil this year. And the last stock for the best performing stocks in the S&P 500 is OXY, Occidental Petroleum. You can see this stock was up over or almost 2% today. Almost 2%. Almost 2%. 1.99, right? 1.99%. Picked up a 0.5% on after hours market. That's a good trade. Up 57% the past year, but down 48% the past 5 years. This stock traded at kind of like Exxon Mobil. This stock traded around May 2018 at 82. It's currently, oh my goodness, it's currently down at 36. So this stock has clearly a lot of room to run. It could triple from where it's at, but it does not pay one of the largest dividends. It pays a really, really tiny dividend. But you definitely want to keep an eye on Occidental Petroleum. As you can see in a lot of the other stocks in that sector, the energy sector has performed pretty well. A lot of them are up over 50% the past year. So you probably want to keep an eye on Occidental Petroleum, OXY, this next year. So those were 5 stocks, the best performing stocks in the S&P 500. As I mentioned, the S&P 500 was down 85 points, and it currently trades at 4,577. Next stocks, we're going to do 5 stocks for the NASDAQ 100. First stock, as I have to mention, the NASDAQ 100 has 100 stocks. It shares current components with S&P 500. So the best 2 performing stocks in the NASDAQ 100 today was Activision Blizzard and EA. But we went on those charts in the S&P 500. But for the NASDAQ 100, the other stocks that did perform well was ticker symbol PDD, Pinduoduo. This stock has made this list a few times this month since we've been doing this video. As you can see, this stock is up 9% in the past month. Today it was up over 2%. That's a good move, over 2%. But it's down 63% the past year. That is disgusting. But it's up. It's still up over 149%. But you can see the highs was last year around this time. You're going to keep an eye on this stock because you can see it basically went in a straight line from this date, well, October all the way to then. But either way, you can see around this time in January, last year was 177, 180, then it went all the way to 197. So you want to keep an eye on this stock. You definitely want to keep an eye on this stock through February 19th. You can see it basically fell off a cliff around that date. So keep an eye on Pinduoduo the next month or two. Obviously, it doesn't pay a dividend. Not every stocks in the NASDAQ pays dividend. But Pinduoduo, you want to keep an eye on that February 19th date to see why did it fall off and if it could break that date and those previous highs at 199, 197. Either way, next stock is Zscaler. As you can see, Zscaler was up 1.75%. It picked up a little more than 0.1% in the after hours market. That's a good move. For the year, Zscaler is up 20%. The NASDAQ was up, I think, like 14 to 15%. So Zscaler is currently outperforming the NASDAQ. And for the past 5 years, a pretty strong chart here, up 843%. That's an insane move. Almost 1,000%. You can see the highs was a few months ago, almost like 3 months ago. It was November 19th. That's when you were plus 1,200%. That number was 368. You want to keep an eye on that. Over $100 from here. Definitely want to keep an eye on Zscaler this year. It doesn't pay a dividend, but you can see the all-time highs was around 368, and it currently trades at 259. And you can see a move today of almost 2%. You want to keep an eye on Zscaler. It's down 13% the past month, and it's down 9% the past week. So just keep an eye on that 368 number for Zscaler. Next stock is Lululemon. Lululemon was up 1%, almost a half of a percent in the after hours market. Also, that's a good move when stocks gain in the after hours market. Lululemon is actually down 3% the past year. Not a good move. But for the past 5 years, this chart is up almost 400%. You can see it topped out around here, around 4 months ago, around $473, November 19th, $473. It's basically gone down in a straight line since then, down 20% in the past 3 months. You want to keep an eye on Lululemon. It was up almost 2%. It's down 4% for the past week. So you want to see maybe even tomorrow if it goes up again. Does it hold this number? Lululemon. Next stock we're going to do is ticker symbol PNW, Palo Alto Networks. You can see Palo Alto Networks is up a little less than 0.5% today, a little more than 0.5% today. For the past year, it's up 36%. So this is outperforming the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. That's a pretty strong move, 36% for the past year. And for the past 5 years, Palo Alto Networks is up almost 300%, 263%. I don't think it pays a dividend, but this is a pretty interesting move. The highs was around almost less than a month ago, and that number was 568. It's about $66 from the high. You want to keep an eye on that 568 number. And those were 5 of the best performing stocks in the NASDAQ 100. The NASDAQ 100 had, I think, a total of about 7 stocks that were up today. So I basically went over the entire charts of all of the great best performing stocks in the NASDAQ 100. As I mentioned, the NASDAQ 100 was down 386 points. It currently trades at a 14,506 points. Obviously, we want to keep an eye on that 14,000 number. If we have a few more days like this, we could be trading at 13,000, or will we get some momentum back and trade above 15,000? You want to keep an eye on that number for NASDAQ 100. And for the last of the stocks of the day for Tuesday, January 18th, 2022, we're going to go over the Russell 2K. The Russell 2K was down 66 points today. Russell 2K currently trades at 2,096 points. We were trading above 2,100. Obviously, you want to keep an eye on that 2,000 mark for the Russell 2K. But one of the best performing stocks in the Russell 2K was ticker symbol OCX, right? OCX was up 15%. It gave back a lot of that in the after hours market. Gave back almost half of that in the after hours market. This is a $2 stock, which is a penny stock. Any stock under $5 is considered a penny stock under Wall Street terms. For the past year, this stock is down 41%. That's not a good stock. And for the past 5 years, it's down 70%. So this looks like it was a day trade. A lot of people were trading this stock during the day and sold it off in the after hours market. You probably will have to worry about that when the market opens up tomorrow also, if you were trading this stock. Next stock is ticker symbol, is it GNTY? Is that a thing? Yeah, GNTY, okay. Wow, this stock was up 11%, almost 12% today. Let's see what's happening here. Almost 12% for the week. For the month, up almost 18%. For the past 3 months, 13%. For the past year, 27%. That's interesting. And for the past 5 years, $42. I don't know what that means. Oh, what did I just do? But this is interesting. I'll keep this on a watch list just to see what's happening here. It's a bank holding company. I don't know what's happening there. And it pays a 2% dividend. That's an interesting move. I guess this is a part of the financial sector. But a pretty strong move, 12% today. Keep an eye on this stock this week. I may add a share or two if it continues to run. Definitely don't want to have it go up another 25%. I don't make any money from it. So I'll probably add that to my portfolio tomorrow. Next stock is ticker symbol HMHC. As you can see, we added 3 shares to this stock to our portfolio today. We saw it running and it was up over 9% today. As you can see, it gave back almost over 1% in the after hours market. That sucks. And I'm actually down, so we bought this stock pretty late in the day. It's okay. But for the past week, the stock is up 11%. For the past month, 19%. For the past 3 months, 30%. This stock is averaging 10% per month. And for the past year, wow, I mean, this is the strongest chart we've seen. This stock is up 275% in 1 year. Where does the stock come from? This stock came from penny stock territory last year. As you can see, it was at $469. I mean, $4.69 last year at this time. So that's a pretty interesting move. And for the past 5 years, it's up almost 60%. Okay, that's interesting. If you want to keep an eye on a trade here, something's happening with this stock in the last few weeks and last 3 months. You can see it's averaging a 10% return per month. So you want to keep an eye on that stock. MHC. Next stock for the best performance stocks in the Russell 2K was NCMI. Okay, you can see this stock is another penny stock. This stock was up over 10% today, but for the year it's down 19%, down 20% for the past year, and down 80% for the past 5 years. That's not a great trade. But obviously, some people are day trading this stock today, and for the past week, it's up 9%. For the past month, it's up 12%. So people are definitely trading this stock recently. NCMI looks like it's a tradable stock. If you want to add about 10% to your portfolio tomorrow, AGS. That's the next stock. AGS. Okay, this stock was up 7% today. That's not bad. It did not give back any percent in the after hours market. It's up 27% the past year. That's a pretty good performance. They're outperforming all the indexes, but it's down 55%. You can see the high was 2018, where this stock was at $32 a share. It's currently at $7 a share. So you got some gaming products. Gaming is some kind of Las Vegas. Yeah, it's in Vegas. Kind of okay. It's a kind of gaming stock. Maybe like Las Vegas Sands type of a situation. Or maybe it's just trading up because of the electronic arts and the Activision Blizzard trade. Maybe something's going on with this stock. Maybe you want to keep an eye on this stock, right? It's up 7% today. So you probably, if you want to trade, this stock is up almost 10% in a week. You probably want to keep an eye on AGS this week to see what's going on with that. And for the last stock of the stocks of the day, we're going to check for the Russell 2K. We're going to check a stock called Laws. No? Is that a thing? LA, is that a thing? I don't see anything. Well, that's how we're going to have to end the video. I can't find the last stock. I don't know what the heck is going on. But those were over 20 stocks. We picked about 5 stocks from each index, and we gave about 2 stocks outside of the indexes. As I mentioned, not a great day for the stock market today. All 4 indexes were down. The Dow Jones was down 543 points. The S&P 500 was down 83 points. The NASDAQ 100 was down 386 points. And the Russell 2K was down 66 points. Did you discover any new stocks in this video? Do you have any great performing stocks in your portfolio you would like to recommend to myself or the other viewers of this video? I'm Jason Robinhood. These were the stocks of the day for Tuesday, January 18th, 2022. Stay long in the stock market.